Welcome back to another episode of the Fantasy Football Power Hour. I'm really excited to announce today I got a special guest on. We've done so many podcasts together, it's unreal. It's Muscles Ryan Mahle. What's going on, Mus?
Not a whole lot. What's happening?
Not much, man. Well, as I say that, not much. Plenty. I mean, all this fantasy football, just draft stuff. We got the first round tomorrow. I'm super excited. And today I want to get into a PFF mock draft and just kind of go over the picks that they have. Some to me make sense, some maybe not so much with a little bit more information that's coming out, but kind of get into some good discussion here and just kind of see where some of these guys we feel like with these landing spots are they relevant like fantasy wise or we like the spot, do we not like the spot, do we see them going here? So just really a lot to go over in such a short amount of time. I know with this film, kind of like a crab, man. I kind of just stay in my own little shell here and just kind of like watch all this film and just see what I like and what I don't like because I think that's something bad too that you go on and see a lot of people hating on somebody or loving somebody and then you don't just fall into that. Like evaluate your own film.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think
That's for
we've had a
sure.
lot of
This is definitely the day before Christmas. I mean, I remember last year. There was all that like Justin Herbert was going to get traded, and
yeah,
like it's always like the day before. It's like people just go
it,
crazy on this hype and rumors, and now Pickens is getting traded, AJ Brown's getting traded.
yeah.
All these people are going to get traded. And
Well,
probably
before we
nothing will happen.
exactly, and I think before we even get into like these picks here, let's talk about that. So, like the whole AJ Brown going to New England thing. I mean, yes, that would be great for Drake May, but it's not happening, right?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't think. I
I,
mean,
yeah,
Dynasty Dog Mike could probably comment on that more than we could if he's on. But I mean, I just feel like this is just one of those that's just blowing smoke.
yeah, yeah. I feel like that too. I mean, and really, what would you have to give up? Like, I mean, if you gave up what if he goes there, they're number three. Like, I mean, if I'm a Patriots fan, I go up the third overall pick for AJ Brown. I love AJ Brown, but I'm
Yeah,
not real excited about that.
yeah. I saw it was. I think it's the fourth overall or the third overall,
Or fourth. Yeah, it is the fourth. Yeah, that Giants.
Jalen Ramsey on top of that
Yeah,
is
yeah,
what they're projected.
yeah. I think AJ stays put. I mean, that's tough. Now going to George Pickens though, I did see reports that said he's very well available. So take that how we want. Very well available. That's kind of some strong words in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely is. I mean, I don't know if the Steelers are trying to get people to make offers for him, and just not going to take anything unless they're blown away. I'm just kind
Right.
of curious of what the direction that they kind of are going to want to go.
Yeah.
Like I know me and you are Steeler fans. It's like we just kind of want them to blow up a year and suck, but we know how they are with their winning seasons. So do
Yeah,
they
I
just
know.
go through and keep them and just try to get to 500? And it's
Right.
hard to tell.
Right. So like I think that's another thing too. The whole Aaron Rodgers, like you were really heavy on this, going to the Pat McAfee show, going to say like I'm gonna be a Pittsburgh Steeler. It didn't happen. Is it because maybe everybody was kind of starting to predict that and then he got cold feet?
I actually kind of thought about that. I was like, Aaron Rodgers kind of always likes to be like sneaky. He always wants to feel like he's one step ahead of everybody. I
Right.
feel like once that started going all over Twitter and everything, he might have was like, maybe not.
Yeah. He
Like
is definitely
I feel like he wanted to be like everybody to be like, oh, I never saw that coming.
100% agree. I kind of that was kind of the first thing that came to mind. I was like, shit, he ain't gonna do this now. Like everybody's
Yeah.
already called his cards. So
Yep.
I
Yeah.
just I don't know what's gonna happen with Aaron Rodgers. I mean, it seems like he really wants to go to Minnesota, like follow Brett Favre's path, which is kind of really strange. But I really don't want him to be a Pittsburgh Steeler as a Pittsburgh Steeler fan.
No, no.
You
I'd
know,
rather them just rebuild and try something.
and we kind of got screwed on the whole like Russell Wilson thing. Me and you were heavy on saying like, "Hey, we don't like Russ," and then what do? They bring in Russ,
Yeah,
like, okay, so this is what is kind of confusing me. We're about done with this Pittsburgh rant, but like, I really wish they would have brought back Justin Fields for the simple fact that, like, would you rather have Justin Fields or draft, say, Shador Sanders or Jackson Dart at 21? Like, I'd just rather have Fields.
I think I would too. I mean, Field, would they get 20 million a year?
I think it was right around that,
That's
yeah.
yeah. I mean, that's kind of getting up there. I feel like the Jets didn't get any sort of discount or anything on Justin Fields. So
Right.
like for a cap, I mean, if the cap exists, I'm like
Yeah.
iffy if the cap even exists because the Saints are still out there signing players
Yeah.
somehow. I don't know. Their Madden things turned off to where it says ignore salary cap because anytime I try to sign somebody on Madden and I'm over the salary cap, it kicks out an error message. But
Well, I've did it before. I kept restructuring and paying down the road, and finally, like, I played like 5 seasons, and I just couldn't sign anybody else. So,
yeah, yeah. So I don't know what the Saints are doing, but yeah, I mean, for the whole cap thing, I mean, maybe draft a quarterback and just see. I mean,
yeah.
you just, unfortunately, I went back through the old drafts and it's like, you just never know. Like, it's
No.
never the first quarterback taken that ends up being the best one. Like,
Quarterbacks, dude, they're so hard, like,
they
to
are.
evaluate.
They
Be
are.
there's so much to it that, like, people get paid millions and millions of dollars and can't figure it out. We have 4 people watching our show right now. We can't figure it out. So, like,
No,
it's a
no.
wide range of outcomes, right? Like, we got X amount of people, they have, all this stuff, and it's really hard to be figured out. So, I mean, I think I think what you gotta do is just kinda pray and hope at some point, like,
Yeah, yeah, you
I
do.
mean,
Yeah,
there's definitely signs of stuff, I feel like, but I think there's all we gotta also look at, like, setting them up for success, right? Like, I feel like good offensive line. I felt like we seen that a little bit with Bo Nix. Like, we really underestimated Bo Nix. We kinda said,
yeah,
like, "Hey, he don't have any targets," but he had a good coaching staff in Sean Payton. He had a very solid offensive line, and we knew Bo Nix was kind of mobile. So, like, if you kinda got his confidence up, and I felt like that's what happened because he didn't throw good at all at first. I mean,
no.
we looked out there, he didn't throw real great, and then he kinda got his confidence up and then came out and was slinging the ball, got him to the playoffs, and, we all had high hopes they'd beat the Bills, and we kinda all knew deep down it wouldn't happen, but, I
Yeah.
mean, that's a lot of promise, though, for a guy that, like, literally, we watched last year at this time in the first round, it looked like their war room was just, like, disgusted they took the guy, and, I mean, he took him to the playoffs in his first year.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's for sure. I mean, yeah, like you said, there's people that get paid millions of dollars, and what last year, Jaden Daniels was probably the best out of the class so far.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
the year before that, now we were higher on Stroud than Bryce Young, but Bryce Young was picked first overall.
Yep.
And C.J. Stroud seems to be the best one. And then the year before that, Brock Purdy was Mr. Irrelevant. He's
Yeah.
probably the best quarterback out of that class.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah, so I mean, it's one of those. I don't mind Justin Fields, but I mean, if we take a gamble on one of these guys,
Yeah.
okay. Like,
Yeah.
hopefully it pans out. I don't really, how we feel about the coaching staff there. I don't know if
Yeah.
they can develop a guy, but it's
Absolutely.
just I'm just not a Shador fan. I just hope it's not Shador.
Yeah, I know. So everybody watching and everybody listening, we had a whole plan of like talking about some tight ends, but I don't know, man. It's draft time tomorrow. I'm really excited. So I thought about, hey, I literally I messaged Muscles like 10 minutes before we got on here. I'm like, change of plans.
Yeah,
So I got on to PFF, and it's not behind a paywall, so we can talk about it. Because if it's behind a paywall, I don't like to give all that information out. But we're gonna go ahead and do this mock draft talk about where some of these guys land. Do we feel like it can happen? Do we feel like it won't happen? And how we feel about the landing spot. So, right off the bat here at number one, we have the Tennessee Titans taking Cam Ward. I mean, I don't even know if there's odds on this on any betting site because it seems like it is so locked to happen. And the Titans aren't even really like, showing any cards of like, oh, well, we might not. Like, they're basically, hey, we're taking them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how do you feel about Cam Ward to the Titans? I mean, I know they definitely need a quarterback. They have been a franchise that took the gamble on Will Levis, at the beginning of the second round. That was another buzz stream that he could be the second quarterback taken. We kind of knew that wasn't going to happen. Then they took Malik Willis in the third round, who kept falling and falling. That thought he was going to be a first round pick that year. I think a lot of people forget about that. So, going back to the quarterback well again, how do you feel about Cam Ward?
Yeah, I mean it's just tough. I mean it's the Titans definitely they did a lot of work to their O line. I don't know where PFF has them ranked right now, but I know they were pretty bad there about 2 years ago, and they
Yeah,
drafted that guy in the first round. I can't think of his name off the top of my
JC
head.
Latham, I believe.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep,
they
Latham.
they brought in Dan Moore, who's okay in the pass front, like, he's not
Yeah,
tackle.
I forgot about that. They
They
yeah
overpaid him too, but I
they
mean, yeah. But
but
you are right though. Like JC, like they've heavily invested in this offensive line, and I think it's probably like borderline mid to above average. So I mean that's
right.
starting to look kind of like Washington. Like we were looking at Washington's line with Jaden Daniels, like we don't really think it's going to be that great, but they played amazing.
Oh,
And
they did.
and
But I
then
mean, it's just like you always say, like the weapons around the guy. I mean, unfortunately, they got Calvin Ridley, and unless they go out and draft another guy,
I think that's exactly. I haven't looked ahead in this mock, but that's where I'd put my money that, at the beginning of the second round, is it Jaden Higgins? It
yeah,
does somebody like that, that they really like there. I mean, even you hear talks, maybe Luther Burden might be there. I mean, that would be, another young athletic guy that you could put in there with the young quarterback like Cam Ward.
yeah, and I wouldn't mind it at that point. I'm just, yeah, it's just no weapons there right now. Like
Yeah.
Chig and Ridley. I mean, Traylon Burks has been a bust upon bust. So
Right. Right. So yeah, I think that's totally locked and loaded. I mean, where are you drafting him in Superflex since we pretty much know this is gonna happen?
Uh, would he go probably 1-2? I would say. I'd say Genty's probably still the 1-1.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
would
he's going
say,
1-1 for me. And I'm not even the highest on Cam Ward, but like in Superflex, you have to take that gamble. And I mean, what if Amari and Hampton? We'll see where he falls. Like, where does he go? Where's Travion go? Where's some of these
yeah,
running backs go? I mean, I think right now though, for me, not knowing any of that information, knowing he's in Tennessee, and I still think that there is good debate for Travis Hunter. I mean, I personally think he's going to play on the offensive side of the ball. So like, I think I'd probably actually have Cam like 1-3, 1-4 ish.
yeah, and I don't mind that because like you always went back and said like look at the Bijan versus C.J. Stroud. You know,
Yeah,
Bijan was the locked and loaded, and that it's. I mean, it's getting kind of closer now, but C.J. Stroud, it looked like that wasn't the right. Now,
right.
granted, C.J. Stroud was good, but
Yeah, yeah, and it kind of did change back, but like, yeah, I mean, you could have got Bijan plus in the season. I mean, C.J. Stroud, I think KTC had him a quarterback one at one point. So,
yeah, yeah, they did.
going to the next pick, Cleveland Browns take Shador Sanders. Now, I personally do not think this is gonna happen. I know Cleveland needs a quarterback. I mean, they do have Super Bowl winner Kenny Pickett on the roster, but I mean, I just feel that Travis Hunter seems like the very locked and loaded pick in here at 2. And I think Travis Hunter, which we'll get to him, is just such a unique player.
Yeah, yeah, I see them probably taking Travis Hunter here, and like I mean I think it was Ray G that said, and I kind of like I I kind of could see it. Like, what if they take Travis Hunter here, then trade back up
Get
at the end
Shador.
at the end of the first and get Shador? Like
Yeah. Yeah,
that
absolutely.
that wouldn't be bad, you know.
No. No, I mean, because then you're getting a little the familiarity, you know?
Yeah,
Like, I think that kinda does help. Now, I did see a report earlier. Many teams expect quarterback Shador Sanders to fall outside the top 10 picks. Now, you did send me a message there last night as well, a little live stream. Was it Max Crosby that was in it?
yeah,
And
yeah,
they were talking about, Shador to Pittsburgh, basically. It's kind of like a cryptic thing thrown to DK and George Pickens, so, I think that that is probably a pretty good possibility, but I feel like the Steelers trade up, they don't have to trade up very far to get him.
yeah, yeah. I unfortunately think the same thing.
Yeah. Now, how do you feel about Shador Sanders? Like, I know I didn't personally love the tape. I thought he was a little bit less athletic than advertised, and I didn't necessarily, love a lot of the throws. I mean, I seen Travis Hunter make a lot of really nice throws outside or catches outside of his body. So I think that, he's pretty accurate in his mid to short range. I have a little bit of questions about his arm strength down the field as well.
Yeah, and you know him not going to the combine or competing in the combine. I feel like that was a big.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I mean, a lot of quarterbacks don't anymore, but I just feel like that was the time to really let it shine.
I felt like
And
it too because I felt like for him, it seemed like it's only gonna hurt me. But it seems like the closer we get to the draft, like, the more we hear, "Oh, Shador is gonna fall outside the top 10." Shador might not be a first round pick, so, like, I feel like that's sometimes why you gotta compete at these damn things, man, because, like, you
yeah,
start to fall like that, but at the same time, to play, devil's advocate, Malik Willis went to the combine and competed and looked pretty good, and he fell to the 3rd round, so I think there is a lot more that goes into it than we even personally know, but
oh
it
for
definitely
sure.
it couldn't have hurt him if he came out there and proved he had pretty good arm strength, shown he had some good accuracy.
Yeah, no, I did see a tweet, and I don't know if it's true or not, but they said on a betting site that you can bet the over under what pick he goes at. I heard 2 days ago it was at three and a half, and now it's at 21 and a half.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's
Okay.
uh that's kind of crazy for that to go like that
Yeah,
in 2 days.
yeah, absolutely. So pick 3, we're just gonna go over, some of the bigger guys, but then, like, mainly, fantasy relevant guys for us. New York Giants taking Travis Hunter. Again, I think he goes to Cleveland. But, like, how do you feel about Travis Hunter for fantasy, Musk? Because I think a lot of people are really scared he's going to play in the defensive side of the ball. But, he did go out there and run routes. I mean, did he even do
Yeah.
anything defensive wise in his pro day?
According to what I heard, he didn't. I mean, obviously, I didn't watch like the whole thing or anything like that.
Right.
But from what I heard, he did not. So it seems like he's gonna want to play receiver.
Yeah.
And
I think how I feel about that is he's gonna come out and play receiver. I think I'd be more worried if, like, say he goes to Cleveland and, like, a couple defensive backs get hurt and they're
yeah,
like, "Hey, we're gonna have to play you on the defensive side of the ball," and he kinda misses out on some offensive snaps. So I think I'm more worried about that than him just necessarily going out and just lining up at corner. And I don't know if he can play both sides like he did in college because you're going against the best of the best. You're not going
right.
against college players.
And like I know we talked about this at work. I mean, it's we saw Pat Sertan get paid, and we he did not get paid nearly
That's a
as
good
much
point.
as like a mediocre receiver.
That's a good
Like
point.
I can't think of like who got paid this offseason off the top of my head, but like
Right.
I don't think Sertan got even like anywhere close to 20 million a year, and it
Wh
seems like every mediocre receiver is getting 20 million.
I'd like to look you're
Is
right,
it?
receivers are gonna get paid more than a defensive back. They just are.
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to look up Pat
Well,
Sertan's contract.
Jamar Chase got paid, so, like, I know he's obviously the best of the best, but, like, wonder what he got paid a year compared to what Pat Surtain got paid a year.
Oh, 4 years, 96 mil for Certain.
Okay.
So that's about 20. That's actually 24 million a year. But that's 24 million. I mean, what we saw, not Gabe Davis, like Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk got 20 million a year.
Is that what he? Oh my god.
Yeah, I remember he kind of.
Ugh, golly.
Uh,
Oh,
Christian
that
Kirk,
the guy that went to Jacksonville that they overpaid. I can't think of his
Gabe
name.
Davis.
No, it wasn't Gabe Davis.
Yeah, Christian Kirk, 4 years, 72 million with
Oh
a 20 million
my.
dollar. Yeah, so like that's 20 million, 18 million a year. Like, and
That's
that's a mediocre-ish receiver. So like, if I'm Travis Hunter, I want
yeah.
to play receiver.
Oh, absolutely. Just from that standpoint, I think that's a really good point to make. Naomi Brown, what he get paid? That's the one that
Yeah, yeah, he got
Jacksonville
paid like
overpaid.
uh
He had a couple good games in his stretch with Washington, but definitely
one
thought,
year, 1 year, $10 million.
yeah, that's wild. Tutu Atwell's up there too. So
So yeah, I mean,
yeah, I
just the money receivers are getting paid. I mean, that's incentive enough to
yeah,
you know
I think
play receiver.
that's a really good point, Moss. I mean, to think of it from a financial standpoint as well. Now they have at pick 4, New England getting Abdul Carter, which is a great pick. I mean, I he could last it. I mean, he could go there. I feel like it's probably Cam Ward, and then I feel like Travis Hunter, and then I feel like Abdul probably to the Giants. If the Giants don't trade out of that pick, I think there's a possibility there, but I think Abdul probably goes 3.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree.
Here, okay, here at 5, we have Mason Graham going to Jacksonville. This has been a lot of hype around them being very interested in Ashton Genty. So, I mean, is there a possibility they go Genty? Because the Raiders have came out and said they really, really like Ashton Genty, which of course, who doesn't like Ashton Genty? But I feel like that's probably a Pete Carroll type of pick. So
Yeah,
kind of trying to smoke screen a little bit here to get the Raiders to possibly try to trade up for Genty.
it's definitely not out of the realm of possibilities. I forget what game Sean Payton played last year, but remember he played some sort of game and
Yeah.
he baited somebody into something. But yeah, I mean it could just be one of those. They're just trying to get the Raiders to come up and get that pick so they can
Right.
get an extra second or a
Yeah,
third. You
and
know,
it
and
still
it's a
works.
smart move. You
Yeah,
know.
and I mean, I think it would be nice with Jacksonville, but their defense, we watched their defense get torched last year.
Oh yeah,
They got torched, so, like, I feel like that's a prime spot for them to move back and maybe draft, like, a corner,
yeah,
go back a little bit, get a corner, and like you said, if you can get a second round pick. I mean, Chicago has shown a lot of interest in moving up. I seen reports on Sleeper today that Poles is very interested in moving up. That's who I'd be getting a hold of. Trying to get Chicago's one of their. I think they have multiple second round picks.
yeah,
Try to get one of their second round picks, and jump back, get a corner, and you're going to get a really good player there. I mean, if you did want to run him back, which you still have Travis Etienne, who I still think's pretty good, and you have Tank Bigsby, who's shown some signs of life too. You could reassure something else. I mean, anything on that defense.
yeah. I don't think. I can't see them actually drafting Ashton Genty. So
No.
I
No,
think this is
I
all just a smoke screen.
so let's say if they do, how do you feel about that? Because I mean, obviously he's better than Travis Etienne. I guess I think
Right.
the main thing you say is Travis Etienne and Tank Bigsby are probably dead, but I don't think that happens.
I don't either. I mean, that wouldn't be a bad thing. I don't think. I mean,
No.
hell, that might be good for the Jacksonville offense, but I just
Yeah,
don't
I
think.
mean Trevor Lawrence.
I just don't know how big of an upgrade. I mean, look, like you said, Genty is better than ETN, but is it like head and shoulders?
Yeah. I just think from an NFL standpoint, even like you're trying to win games. They're not trying to get us fantasy points, and the defense
Right.
being so bad, like,
Oh, remember in DFS, we were always attacking
oh,
whoever was playing Jacksonville.
all the time. I think didn't Tyreek Hill get arrested out there and still scored like an 80-yard touchdown?
Yeah, yep. Yeah,
So
it
yeah,
seemed Jacksonville and the Commanders, that's who you were attacking in DFS.
yeah. I keep drawing a blank on the head coach's name they just brought in. He has a weird.
Cohen.
Who is it?
Cohen?
Yeah. So like we seen what Bucky Irving did there too. So like
Yeah.
that's what kind of got me excited, like for Travis Etienne as well. I mean, I feel like he's better than Bigsby, so that's kind of where I lean, and I just don't see Genty there. Going to the next pick here, pick 6, the Raiders. PFF has them taking Ted McMillan at pick 6. I I think this is the Genty spot for me. I think
I
if
do too.
Chicago doesn't trade up, I think it's Genty. If not, then I feel like it's probably maybe on the defensive side of the ball,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, or even a lineman. So I feel like that's probably where I would put that. But Ted McMillan, let's just talk about him real quick. Uh, Somebody that had a lot of steam that just seems like he's been cooling off and cooling off and cooling off. So
Yeah.
Ted's somebody that he is not my wide receiver one. It's Travis Hunter. Number 2, I do have a Igbuka, but I do have Tet there. I think Tet could be an X in this league. I'm not saying he's a dominant guy. I'm not saying he'll ever be like an AJ Brown, but he's kind of that possession type receiver. I kind of compared him to like a Michael Pittman, honestly, a possession type guy that's just going to move the chains for you.
Yeah. Yeah. I couldn't agree more. I was kind of underwhelmed when I watched this film. Like
I was,
I was expecting a lot more, and we're definitely not getting any Malik Neighbors or
yeah,
Jamar Chases or Justin Jeffersons. I don't think. Like I think the person that is the only one that has that ceiling, I think, is Travis Hunter. But
yes.
I don't think you're gonna get that kind of stud receiver in this draft, other than Travis Hunter.
I would totally agree with that. And I still don't think Travis Hunter is that elite yet. Not saying really yet. Like, I mean, he's shown us some really nice stuff, but I mean, to put it all together, we have yet to see. So, Dynasty
Yeah.
Dog Mike says, "Don't you disrespect the tank." I mean,
I was huge on Tank Bigsby. If you remember, I was like,
I
oh man, I
do,
love Tank Bigsby. But
I
yeah,
do.
I'm glad he's showing life.
I am. I am too. I mean, yes and no because I don't have any shares. I didn't draft him, but yeah, I mean, he looked okay in preseason when he first came in, and then just really underwhelmed his rookie year, and then uh, show some signs of life there last year. So I think this could definitely be an offense where he's still very relevant. I mean, we've seen
Yeah,
Liam Cohen do it with Rashad White, who,
and Sean Tucker.
yeah, and even, yeah, even threw in some Sean Tucker. So like, I mean, Rashad White had some fantasy value. I mean, Bucky Irving did exactly, what he did. Was really, really surprised about that, but it did happen. So this could be a really nice backfield to have that I think a lot of people are scared on. But hey, I mean, I think they both can hold some value for us.
Yeah, I think ETN's a good buy right now. I think
Yeah,
still, especially with that news. I mean, hopefully, maybe fantasy owners actually buy that, and
yeah,
maybe you get them for a third. I don't know. I tried. I didn't get them anywhere for a third, but
yeah,
even for a second, I don't mind that, like a late-ish, mid-ish second.
yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of 1 foot in on that.
Yeah,
I I just have a lot of faith, like, in ETN, man. Like, I
yeah, I
just
do
think he's
too.
a very, very good player.
Yeah, yeah,
Going to the next pick here. Let's go to pick 7. New York Jets. They take Tyler Warren here. Now, Muscles, I'll let you kind of say your cousin met him.
yeah, yeah. So it was actually I did talk to him. He had a college basketball tournament in State College. It was actually in State College. I thought it was at Freeport, but their Freeport basketball team was down in State College playing. So
Okay.
I just saw the Freeport jersey and knew he came from a basketball game, so I just assumed. But yeah, he said he saw a big dude in the aisle, and he was like, I think that's. And then he put two and two together because they're both of his parents went to Penn State, so they're like he's like a huge Penn State nerd, so he recognized them. I wouldn't have recognized them, but he recognized him. Said he was cool. He said he sat there and talked to him and asked him what his name was, and he actually, my little cousin plays tight end in his pee wee football, so he was like, yeah, man,
There
he's
we
like,
go.
he goes, I hope I go to Penn State just like you, and he's like, yeah, man, absolutely, but yeah, he thinks he's gonna get drafted by the Colts. That was what a
Yeah.
couple weeks ago, so, but yeah, I
I
mean,
I really like Tyler Warren. I just got done watching the film. This was gonna be a part of it. Tyler Warren is my tight end one. I do like
yeah,
Dustin Loveland a lot, but man, whenever Tyler Warren gets a ball in his hands, I mean, he looks really good. Now, I don't think he's elite. I think we got very spoiled with a Brock Bowers, and people were getting him at like the 1.6, 1.7. And now people are like, well, I got Brock Bowers at 1.6 or 1.7. I'm not taking Tyler Warren there, but this is a different class, man. I mean,
yeah,
if you're
yeah,
gonna put these quarterbacks in there, where'd you put Cam Ward? I mean, I think you put him right around Michael Penix
yeah, you're not wrong.
because I'm taking Caleb.
Yep,
Obviously I'm taking Jaden. I'm taking Drake May. I'm taking Bo Nix.
probably McCarthy.
I
That's
probably.
close.
I
Yeah,
mean,
but I
he's
think I
gonna have the
would.
keys here.
Yep.
And I mean, in an offense where Kevin O'Connell made Sam Darnold relevant. So
Yep.
I feel like, yeah, I think that's even a very good possibility. So, like, I think it starts to get a little bit closer there. I do think Cam Ward was a better prospect, though, coming out. Like, I wasn't real big on McCarthy, but I mean, if you put landing spot in there, I think that starts to make the difference. And,
Oh, for
Michael
sure.
Penix gets close for me as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
You're exactly right.
so,
But where would you have him? Would you have Warren over McBride, or would you have McBride over Warren?
oh, I'd have McBride over Warren.
Yeah,
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 so, like, for me, Warren, especially at the Jets landing spot, I honestly don't love it. Because let's just see. So, obviously, Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson are your 1, 2 main punch guys there. Option 3, is it Tyler Warren or is it Justin Fields running the ball too?
Ugh,
You know
yeah.
what I'm
It's
saying?
probably Fields running the ball, and then yeah,
Yeah.
probably Warren.
So, like, that kinda like, if this happens, that kinda scares me because I feel like Fields might take off more, and I mean, this is a great pick for the New York Jets. It's a great pick, but like for fantasy, he goes to the Jets and Colston Loveland goes to the Chargers. It's probably Colston Loveland, right?
Yeah,
I mean, because
yeah.
for me, there's not a huge difference, but there is a difference. But the landing spot may be where I go there.
What did you think of Loveland? I mean, we could probably get there when we get to the pick, but
Um, so I feel like he's a very good tight end, like receiving. I think he runs pretty damn good routes. I think he does all right against contested catches. Uh, I don't think he's as good as Warren after the catch, but I still don't think
right.
he's bad. I think he's a
No,
good
I don't either.
possession type guy.
I'm just scared of like it's like Fanning over Loveland. Yeah, Jimmy was all about that too.
Ooh,
I didn't really watch a lot of Fanning, but I just was like scared of like the separation with Loveland. Like, is it another like Dalton Kincaid, Kyle Pitts,
and,
like
and that's where it gets scary when some of these guys don't block great either, because people
right,
people always say, like, I don't want a blocking tight end because they're going to be blocking, not running routes. But if you look at Dalton Kincaid's situation, Dawson Knox is an awesome blocker. Sometimes Dalton Kincaid's off the damn field because
right.
Dawson Knox is in there blocking, and then Josh Allen might call an audible, and right there's
Yeah, I mean, an offensive coordinator or a head coach doesn't want to like telegraph plays like, oh, Dawson Knox is out there, they're going to run the ball. Oh, Kincaid's out there, they're going to throw the ball. So, yeah,
absolutely.
they're gonna put Dawson Knox in some passing situations too to kind of even that out. So,
Fannin for me, Fannin was all right. Fannin was all right. He put up crazy production. He put up like 1,500 yards, like to go to Mike's, Fannin over Loveland. Like the production was there. I thought he was very tight hipped. Um, the thing with Fannin for me, I think he wins on change of direction. And Fannin doesn't block real good either. But like if he gets to a good spot, I think that's where people get really interested. I've seen him in mocks to like Kansas City, but it was like the fourth round.
Yeah.
So, like, if he gets later capital, we'll see. I wasn't in love with with Fannin, but like, I didn't mind him. I honestly, if people really talked up this tight end class, I came away a little disappointed. Honestly, like, there's some guys that were all right, but I I, I think it's kind of like the receivers. There's some depth.
Yeah, yeah,
There,
but I
there's
mean, I will say if leveling does go to the Chiefs, I am, or not the Chiefs, the
the Chargers.
Chargers.
You would
Yeah,
be more interested than him.
yeah, yeah. I probably
I
wouldn't.
think it becomes a conversation,
Oh, for
I think
sure.
that's where we gotta open the books and be like, "Okay, this is what are we gonna do?" Because, he could go there tomorrow in the first round, and then, like, what if they draft another receiver? What if what else do they do in the draft as well? So,
Right, right.
okay, let's go to, Carolina taking Will Johnson, cornerback. Which Will Johnson, he's a good blitz guy, didn't run the 40. Uh, he's a little bit slower of a guy. A guy I interacted with on X today was saying about him going to Arizona. I think that would be a good fit if he fell that far, but we'll see. He's kind of a ball hawk as well. Next fantasy relevant guy, 12. Okay, 12 Dallas Cowboys take Emeka Ibuka. How do we feel about that?
Yeah, I mean that would give CD Lamb a little bit of shade off of him a little bit because it's been like CD Lamb and Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, I don't, and I think Cooks actually went back to the Saints, which is weird.
Yeah, yeah. So it definitely it helps Dak out.
Yeah,
I think Dak's probably a screaming buy right now.
yeah, I agree with that. That's what I was thinking. What do you got to give up for Dak? But like we do say that sometimes, and then you go out and try to,
Yeah,
acquire him.
but I don't know if you remember that 2 years ago when Dak had that slow start, and I was like, man, Dak looks terrible. CD Lamb was
Couldn't
having
even
his
get a first.
issues, and I couldn't even get a first for him.
Yep.
And it's just crazy how it turns, and we're like, oh man, if you can get Dak for first, that's a screaming deal.
Yeah.
Like you said, I mean, we say this, and I mean, it's going to be league dependent, who has Dak, but like,
Yeah.
I just feel like, there's some guys, that are probably have a bad taste in their mouth. Obviously, he started out kind of slow-ish, and then got hurt for half the year. So
Right. Right. It just seems like everything was falling apart in Dallas. It's gonna get better, and what's gonna be really nice for Dallas is the defense still isn't great. So I think it
yeah,
puts them in some shootout potential type games. So yeah, I love the Dak call, Moss. I think he's a great buy as well. And I mean, all mocks indicate like, okay, they have a Buka going here. We've seen Matthew Golden here. So like they're gonna draft a receiver. I think there's probably a 75% chance they draft a receiver. Like a
yeah,
relevant
yeah.
receiver within the
Oh, for
first
sure.
3 rounds.
Yeah, I
So
agree 100%. Yeah, and let's not draft a running back in the first round. We need Javante to stay there.
right.
Just kidding.
You never know, man. If Devontae survives this draft, my God.
Oh man, yeah. I don't think he does, but
Yeah, I agree. I don't think he does. I don't think I would love Ibuka here. It is good for CD Lamb. It is good for Dak, but I would like to see him in a role where maybe he gets a little bit more. But just because I have him as my wide receiver too, like so I'm expecting
yeah,
him to kind of like take the reins somewhere and really kind of establish himself. A lot of people say about him just in the slot. I think he's more than just a slot guy. I think he can operate in the outside as well. He's a bigger receiver. I think he's like 6'1", 6'2". He's
yeah,
a bigger guy.
yeah. I mean, he definitely ate in the slot. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd like to see him like in that Chris Godwin where they just throw him in the slot and just leave him, but like he can play the outside.
Yeah, absolutely. Going to the next pick here. Yeah, I some of this draft I don't agree with, which no shot on PFF. They put out great content. I mean, I'm a
Yeah.
subscriber. They put out amazing stuff. Miami taking Ashton Genty here at 13. Boy, that'd be wild. I don't think Genty falls past the Bears, especially, and I think the Bears possibly trade up to get him. I think Miami goes corner because you're seeing, Jalen Ramsey wanting out and probably gonna be the corner from Texas. I can't really pronounce his name. Jihadi Barron. Yeah, I'm really
Okay.
bad with pronouncing names, but I could see that happening. So
Yeah.
uh going to the next guy. Let's see. Down Amarian okay, okay. It's 20. Denver taking Amarian Hampton muscles.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I can get behind that.
Hmm.
Denver does need a running back.
And
I think
Sean
that.
Payton has made it very known that he wants a running back.
Yes. Yes. So, I mean, Hampton. I mean, he's probably not my favorite-ish running back in the class, but I mean, Denver needs a running back. I mean, they got a tight end in Evan Ingram. I love that move. Hopefully, Evan Ingram can stay healthy,
Yeah.
and just getting Bo Nix his weapons. I mean,
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, I have Amarian Hampton right now. He is my running back too, but Travion's very close.
I was gonna say I love Travion.
I love Travion too. I really like Judkins. There is some advanced metrics that do scare me. I even said that in my show. When I evaluated running backs, it was like his yards after contact wasn't great, but amazing production. I still think Judkins is a very good pick as well, but it's kind of that big cluster of guys. But for me, I'm gonna go Amarian, and I think if Amarian Hampton lands in Denver in this offense, oh, it could be amazing.
Yeah. Yep. I couldn't agree more.
So go on to the next fantasy relevant guy. 24, the New Orleans Saints select Luther Burden. They trade with Minnesota. How'd you feel about Luther Burden going to the Saints?
Yeah, that would be. Oh, damn dog came in. Hang on 1 second.
All right, you're good, man. So I'll just give my thought on Luther Burden going to the Saints. I don't love it, that's for sure. Uh, who's going to be the quarterback, right? I mean, it's looking like Spencer Rattler. We're seeing all this with Derek Carr. His arm's all screwed up. So, there's a lot of talk. They could take Shador if he's there, but then the organization comes out and says that they're not interested. It's just a lot of we're gonna find out, right? I mean, could it even be Jackson Dart? So I just think for now, even if it is any of them guys, I don't love this fit. I don't love the fit.
No, I came away honestly really disappointed in the tape of Luther Burden because
I
it
did
was,
too.
I saw everybody's rankings and everything like that. And everybody had them like, 2, 3, something like
Yeah.
4, and I just don't see it. So
So what I do see with Burden is he's elite in after the catch. Like you get the ball in his hands, he is elite. But if you look at some of his bigger games, like Georgia, some bigger teams where he couldn't out athletic them, he put up nothing. He didn't
yeah,
do anything. So like that's a big concern. Could Missouri have done more to be creative with him? Absolutely. But like as far as like route running and stuff, I came away underwhelmed, man. I came away really underwhelmed. I thought he drifted a lot. Sometimes I kind of questioned his attitude. I felt like he had a shitty attitude. So I'm gonna be a little bit lower than consensus on Burden. I think right now he's my 4 or 5. So like
yeah,
I do see the upside. I absolutely see the upside. He's an amazing athlete, but we've missed on guys like this before. The community.
right.
I think there's a lot of red flags with Luther Burden.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean the Saints landing spot. I mean you pretty much said it. I mean with Spencer Rattler there or
yeah.
whoever they bring in. I mean, in that team right now is just a dumpster fire. I
Yeah.
mean, does Kamara even survive this draft? Like, as far as like, does he get dealt at some point?
Yeah.
I mean, do they just burn this whole team down to the ground?
Yeah, and they should.
They
I mean,
should.
they should.
Yeah.
But there should be a deal in place with the new head coach. I'm drawing a blank on who it is. It's with the Eagles before.
Oh,
Mm,
more. No.
Kellen Moore.
Yeah, more. Yeah, I
Yeah,
wanted to say Mon, and I knew that wasn't right.
yeah, Kellen Moore. There should be a deal in place to say like, hey, if you lose, we're gonna give you like 3 or 4 years. You know what I mean? Like because he's not gonna win right away. There's no way.
Right.
Going to pick 26, the LA Rams take Colston Loveland. So this is a spot that's kind of interesting. We knew the Rams were really interested in trading up for Bowers. Imagine if that would have happened.
Yeah.
I do really like this pick. I mean, I know they bring in Devontae Adams. Puka Nakua is taking a step forward. But Colston Loveland to the Rams, Moss, how do you feel?
Boy, yeah, definitely on the Sean McVay offense. I mean, Higbee's had his, success in these kind of offenses. So I was kind of like worried at first because I'm like, ugh, Sean McVay offense doesn't really ever feature a tight end, but Higbee's had his fair share. So I mean, he's a head coach that knows what he's doing, and he can scheme them up. So I'm all about it.
Right. I think I feel good, but not great. Like this is probably to the point I do really like it, but like, you know, does a landing spot really change Tyler Warren? Just for the simple fact that like, okay, Tyler Warren's a fourth option. What is Colson Loveland? Like, so we do have Puka, we do have Devontae Adams, but then who's a running back? Is
I,
it Kyron
I,
Williams?
yeah,
So, like, yeah, that's where it starts to get pretty close for me. It does look good when you first say it, but then you really think about it. It's like, man, I'd probably still lean Tyler Warren there.
oh, I think I would too.
But I think this is a very good possibility. I think it'll be hard for Colson Loveland. Seems like the NFL really likes him. Seems like a lot of fantasy players really like him. So I think it'd be hard for him to fall that far. Go on to the Chargers. Chargers trade with the Lions. They take Matthew Golden here at pick 28. So Matthew Golden is a player that it seems like people love him or hate him. I'm kind of in the middle, but I kind of lean more to the love. I think Matthew Golden could be a really, really good player in the NFL. I think he has amazing speed. He has some work to do. Like, yeah, his routes aren't the cleanest. I think he needs to kind of like slow his tempo down a little bit and try to like show off some cuts. But like at the same time, man, I think there's untapped potential. He was in a
Yeah,
horrible offense for him. Quinn Ewers is bad, man. He's really, really bad. I mean, look, he had Xavier Worthy, Adonai Mitchell, Isaiah Bond, Matthew Golden. All these guys are like blazers, and he has a very weak arm, runs into pressure. I think it was a really bad fit for Matthew Golden, and you put him with Justin Herbert that can get the ball down the field. I would love it.
yeah. I mean, we all know Justin Herbert has a cannon,
He
so
does, he does, and then if
yeah,
you can get him in an offense that like you know, that can kind of help refine some things with him, some smaller things that I think are fixable. Matthew Golden could be a really nice receiver here.
oh, 100%. Yeah, I would love it. I mean, Harbaugh and Justin Herbert.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. No, I did retweet. I think it was Scouts or something or whatever. There's some Matthew Golden tape. What'd you think of that?
yeah, I actually really liked it. I did go watch those 3 minutes of Matthew Gold highlights. If anybody hasn't watched it, Andy did retweet it. So
Yeah,
yeah, I mean he looks like the real deal. Other than Quinn Ewers, just sometimes can't get him. But
yeah. I think people look at advanced metrics with him and kind of freak out. And there's some really respected people in the industry that, have done this way longer than I have that are out on Matthew Golden. I lean more in. So,
yeah,
okay, next pick. Let's go into the second round. They have Jalen Milrow going to the Giants. Now, this is interesting. And it's interesting because Jalen Milroe was one of the 17 prospects that was invited to the NFL draft. And they said they didn't want to invite so many people. So, like, the people that were taken, so kind of like, seems like the NFL wanted people they knew had a good chance of going in the first round to go to the draft. So,
Yeah.
Jalen Milroe, a first round pick.
I wouldn't be shocked. I know a lot of people don't make a big deal about it. At least I haven't heard about it in the last like year or two about the 5th year option.
Hmm.
But with his ceiling, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody doesn't trade up into the first round to get him.
Kind of like that Lamar. Like, I don't know, did Baltimore trade back up or were they just at the end? I can't remember. That's been so.
I can't remember either. But
But yeah, if he's there and you get that 5th year option, I agree with you, man. I think
yeah,
that would be great.
yeah,
I,
because I mean he does have the ceiling. I mean, I was out on Milrow, and and then I started reading your the scout thing that you read about him being the best pure runner that anybody that scouts
yeah.
ever scouted. And then I had a coworker that was like, oh, I hope the Browns get him because he's a Browns fan. And I was like, I don't know, maybe I'm missing something here. So I went back and watched this Alabama like against Alabama, and
Oh yeah.
I mean, he looked good in that game. So,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
mean, if he's really got this much upside, versus a guy that you're just taking a dart throw on, but like he has the potential of being the best quarterback in this class. So I mean, if you trade up into the first, at least you get that 5th year option versus a guy that just doesn't have the ceiling.
Right. So where I'm at with Milrow is I'll let the NFL tell me.
Yeah,
So we were just a couple years ago, Anthony Richardson, man. I mean, a guy that we were like, oh, he's a phenomenal athlete. He's a phenomenal athlete. The ceiling, the ceiling. I think people are scared with Milrow because they got burned on Anthony Richardson. And I think we mainly got burned on Anthony Richardson for the simple fact that, like, attitude, injuries,
yeah,
because the first 2 games he played, it looked like Anthony Richardson was a real deal. I mean, he was putting
yeah,
up crazy numbers, but dude could not stay healthy, just kinda seems a bit uninterested at times, like being told he's tired, taking out of the game. I mean, just stuff that all isn't good, but, like, I think Anthony Richardson's a half decent buy right now. Like, I
yeah,
mean, I'm willing to gamble a second round pick and probably what, a mid-second? We always say trade them picks when you're on the clock. That's the highest value. And, like, if you're sitting at like 211 or something or 29, somebody has to have that 4th round running back in the perfect spot.
yeah.
Trade it, man. Try to get that quarterback in Superflex and see if you can hit.
Yeah, yeah, I couldn't agree more. I don't know if you have his stats. Apparently, he was 65% completion percentage in college was what our buddy there at work told me because I was like, oh, you can't. From what I saw, he couldn't really hit the broadside of a barn, and
Yeah.
Adams his name, but yeah, Adam was like, I don't know, man, 65% completion percentage says
Yeah.
differently, and I was like, I don't. I
Those
don't. I didn't.
those statistics.
Yeah, I didn't see them
Man.
statistics, but like I said, I did watch the Alabama game, and I came away like, okay, so I
Alabama.
don't know.
Yeah. So he had, whoops, I got to sign in. I'm curious too. So, like, where I'm at with him is if you go back and listen to the quarterback episode, we did see something with his footwork. Remember when his footwork was out
Yes, yes,
and it showed he was running, and if it was in, I could be saying it backwards, but I have to go back.
yeah, yeah. I know what you mean.
I mean, that's stuff that you can still clean up, but I can't. His completion percentage. I can't find it right now, but yeah, I mean, we'll
Holy
see.
hell. Well, I don't have his overall, but 2024 he had a 64.3, and 2023 he had a 65.8.
Yep, that's what I'm seeing as well. I just got it up there. Last
Yeah,
year, 63.3. So, I mean, he is very, very nice whenever he's taking off running and getting fantasy points. So, I mean, if he does go somewhere and gets a shot, man, I mean, you're probably gonna have to take him second
yeah,
round. So
yeah.
I don't think people take him in the first. I just think that I think there's a little bit too much stink on his name.
Right.
So, but he's gonna be a second round. He's gonna be a second round guy in fantasy drafts.
Yeah, I mean, do you think? I mean, the Giants. I don't really see why they take them, but I think they have
Mm,
a lot of needs that they don't. They already have Russell
right,
Wilson and Jameis
oh,
Winston. Why would they go
they're in a
back and draft?
yeah, and they're in a position now too. Like you look at it, man, they are. Washington's improved crazy. I mean,
Mhm.
they're not beating Washington. You
No.
know, you look even Dallas, like we just talked. Dak's going to be healthy. They're going to get better. Their defense still isn't great, and you got Philadelphia, who just won
Yep.
a Super Bowl. So
Yep.
yeah, it's not looking good for that whole coaching staff. And I love Dayball, but it's just not looking good for them.
No. Nope.
Pick 35, Tennessee Titans take Elick Manor. So Elick Manor, somebody that I came away with not very impressed. Not
Right.
very impressed. I think he's very good at setting defenders up and, trying to take advantage on leverage going to his outs. I think there's been a lot of hype about him. He made a fantastic catch. I don't know if you've seen it against Travis Hunter. He didn't actually even catch a ball till like the third quarter in the Colorado game and then ended up with like 296 yards and three touchdowns. But
Wow.
but that was like the only time. It was like he put on like Jerry Rice cleats, man, and just you never seen it again. Kind of like that Like Mike movie. It was like
Yeah.
Jerry. So
Jeez.
I so here's my big problem. A.M. Manor is a younger guy. He has that young breakout age, but what would scare me if he goes to a place like Tennessee in the beginning of the second round, if you don't produce and you go in the second round, you're going to be labeled a bust. And I don't think he
Yep.
would produce right away. I think he's somebody that needs some time. So, like, for me, I would feel better if A. Manor goes in like the fourth round where people don't have like super high expectations for him. They're like, hey, he's a developmental guy. Like, let's
Right.
just let's run, with some of these older guys, and then we can work them in. So
Yeah, and I think a second round pick to Tennessee is just not.
yeah, and at the beginning,
Yeah, I mean
and then it
that's.
looks really bad if you pass on like I'm just gonna throw names out there like Jaden Higgins and Jaden
Yeah,
Higgins hits and Kyle Williamson.
Trey Harris. Yeah, and
Yeah,
all them.
if these guys hit and he misses and you took him ahead, he's labeled a bust right
And
away.
Travion Henderson hasn't went yet.
No, not yet.
Yeah, so I mean that's.
Yeah, and even the running backs.
Yeah, yeah. I
So
think I think there's a lot better players here than.
I do too. I do
Yeah.
too. Going to pick 38, New England Patriots take Jaden Higgins at Iowa State. Now, Jaden Higgins is somebody I came away. I really like Jaden Higgins.
Yeah.
I don't think he's an X. I think he's more of a number two. But I think there's a place to win that. I think he's a lot like Ted McMillan, just not as good. I think
Right.
he's a big possession guy that's what he's gonna do. He runs slants and curls and drags and tries to move the chains. That's just what he does, and he's good in the red zone.
Yeah. Yeah. I really like this fit. Honestly,
Yeah,
it
I would
definitely
like.
helps out your quarterback and Drake
Yep,
May and.
yep. I still think there's need for that number one X guy, but I still think Jaden Higgins is a fine start to it.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's go to pick 41. The Chicago Bears take running back Caleb Johnson. So they have Caleb Johnson ahead of Travion Henderson. I don't see it. I'm not a big Caleb Johnson guy. It now, I mean, is he better than DeAndre Swift? Probably,
Probably. Yeah.
probably. So he does become pretty fantasy relevant. And it's not really that I hate Caleb Johnson. I just feel like he's behind a really good line. And this is a really good line for the Bear. Like they really upgraded getting Tooney in there. I thought that was a great pickup. And then they brought in a couple other guys that were pretty solid as well. I'm kind of blanking on names, but I think this would be a pretty good fit for him, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. Swift would be the Gibbs to
Yeah,
Caleb Johnson's Montgomery, but
yeah.
I
Just
don't know.
everything.
Obviously, wish version, but
Right,
or
right.
Timu version, but that's what
Hard to
that would
beat.
remind me of.
Going to the next fantasy relevant guy. Yeah, that one's tough. I don't see him
Yeah,
going
I
ahead
don't
of them
either.
guys. 51, Denver Broncos take Jalen Royals. Jalen Royals, somebody
Ooh,
I really like, and I think this would be a pretty damn nice fit for Royals as well.
yeah, yeah. I would really like it. Yeah, you could put him in Sutton, and then Marvin Mims. I think would even if they could just throw him in the slot then, and
Yeah.
you have two guys on the outside.
Oh man, that would be. I would really like that spot. Jalen Royals is somebody just like I watched him. I didn't know anything about this guy, like nothing. Never even heard of the name. Caught my eye because I was kind of watching some guys. I'm like, oh, man, this sucks. This sucks. And I was like, ooh, who's that? And it really watched a lot of Jalen Royals, and I think he has a chance, man, to be. I think he has a chance to be pretty damn good in the league. Now, when I say pretty damn good, a wide receiver two,
Yeah,
probably a
yeah.
wide receiver three, but like still, that's pretty damn fantasy relevant.
No, 100%.
54 Green Bay Packers take Trey Harris. So
Wow.
Trey Harris going second round here. Both these players been hurt. Trey Harris was hurt for a little bit. Jalen Royals, hasn't played a lot, hurt for a little bit. Trey Harris for me, I didn't love Trey Harris. I actually said this in a Discord today. Fantasy Universe Discord. I was talking about this with Mike. Didn't love Trey Harris. I felt that he's kind of an outlier, that like he's somebody I don't think he's good enough to be an X, but a number two that kind of relies on slants and down the field stuff. But I mean, getting Jordan Love, how good is Jordan Love?
Yeah.
I think that's my first question.
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
think
I feel like with Trey Harris, like obviously we always want Green Bay to get this receiver, and I always go back to that time I was watching watching them on Prime with that Prime Vision, and I'm like, what the hell are they doing? Because it's like Jaden Reed's out there and Dontavian Wicks, and then
yeah,
Dobbs, and then the next play they just keep
yeah,
flip flopping, and so I'm like, man, if they could just get that stud receiver and then just Jaden Reed and run them two, like
yeah.
I mean, obviously Matt LaFleur is a lot smarter than me, and I'd say that, but like, I don't think this is the receiver to
No.
to solidify to
No,
be that
I think
number
I
one.
think it's a number 2, 3 guy, and they just throw him in the room,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
throw him in with the
yeah. I
rest.
don't think he's really gonna stand out in that room.
No, I don't either. So I think for me, he's somebody. A lot of people go off advanced metrics, his yards per route run, just kind of like oh he's the best. Yards per route run does matter, but it's not everything. It's not the
No,
whole book, man.
no.
So I'm a little bit lower on Trey Harris. 55, Los Angeles Chargers. They do get a tight end, Elijah Aroro. So Elijah Aroro, somebody that I just watched. I really liked his tape, but the injuries, the knee injuries.
Yeah,
He's only really had 1 year of production. Goes to Senior Bowl, hurts that knee again. Doesn't participate in the combine. It just seems like is he like the new Eric All, where everybody's all in on Eric All? They're like, oh, he's a steal, and then he's hurt.
no, yeah, yeah. Then they
Good
re-signed
player.
Gesicki. Yeah, yeah.
Eric All, dude. If Eric All was healthy, he'd be the tight end for Cincinnati, but
I
he
agree.
can't stay healthy. So
Yeah,
I just get afraid with Aurora that is what's gonna happen. So, but I mean, tape wise, he's shit. He might be my number. He's probably close with Fannin for me, like tape wise. Like I really, really like the tape.
yeah.
So, how'd you feel about Aurora?
Yeah, I thought the same. I mean, I was kind of impressed, but like, yeah, it's just the injuries, man. I mean, it's your best ability is availability, and
Yeah,
that scares me.
yeah, I agree. I agree. Going to the next one here. Houston Texans take running back finally Travion Henderson here at pick 58. I think Travion Henderson has a good chance to go in the first round.
I do
Personally,
too. Was he invited to the draft? Did you see?
I did not
I
see.
didn't. I didn't see that either.
I I I I, I really like Travion, man. I think this would be, it'd be disappointing some year one because Joe Mixon is there, but I think eventually it is the Travion Henderson show if this were to happen.
Yeah.
I I think if it were, I just don't see him lasting that long personally, so I don't wanna, like, dive into it too deep.
Yeah.
I think a real fun spot would be he goes to the Kansas City Chiefs at the end of the first.
That's my ideal landing spot for him. Obviously, we've talked about it before. The Texans line is just terrible right now, and you
It
got
is.
Joe Mixon there. So
Well,
I think if he does go there, I think you just let other people draft him and be disappointed, and then
yeah,
maybe you try to swoop in later and get him for a second or
yep,
third, or get him cheaper.
absolutely. Pick 61, Washington Commanders take Jack Beck, who was the MVP of the Senior Bowl. This was one of my takes is like, could Jack Beck be that Ricky Pearsall at the end of the first round? Like,
Yeah,
I the tape didn't wow me. Like, this is a very, very hot and bold take, but like Ricky Pearsall would have been too. So like I just
yeah,
I feel like Jack Beck is just something that coaches love. Like, even if it isn't the best for fantasy, coaches love him. He's very reliable with his hands. He just does the dirty work. He's not super athletic, but like still just a good football player.
yeah. Kind of like that Heinz Ward, just
Yeah,
yeah. From what I watched, I really like John or yeah Beck.
yeah,
Um, but what? Oh, Commanders. Yes, I
yeah.
mean they definitely. I mean
Terry Mc
they got Debo, but Debo I don't know. I mean he's still Debo. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to like sit here and write him off as dead, but I mean, he is on the back nine. He does
he
have
is. I think
trouble staying healthy a little bit.
yeah, I think that's mainly why is the injuries. If he can muster together a healthy
Yeah,
season, I'm in on Debo at ADP. I think this is a great spot. I think this is something that Jaden Daniels didn't have last year. Is that like move the chains type of guy? Like Terry McLaurin does so much, but like they really needed a short intermediate guy. McLaurin goes downfield a lot, so
yeah,
I think this just kind of helps that game. And we've seen what they had to do in the playoffs is go to old man Zach Ertz. I think Debo's going to fit this role
yeah,
to
yeah,
move the chains.
yeah. I like it.
Pick 67, Cleveland Browns take Jalen Noel. I think this is a horrible landing spot for Noel, especially if they were to take Hunter. I know they didn't in this draft. Uh, Jalen Noel, to me, look, I like him. Like he showed some stuff on tape, but it seems like people like him way more than I do.
Yeah, he's just one of them guys that are just going to go too high for me. In Cleveland, it's you're going to be behind Judy. You're going to be behind Travis Hunter now. And you're going to be competing with Travis Tillman or Charles Tillman, I think, and David Njoku.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
surprised Cleveland hasn't taken a running back yet, but I don't
right.
know.
I think for me with Noel is he can play inside and out, but like what is he? It just seems like he's kind of in between on that. And then like I did see him get thrown off his routes at times. Now there were plays that I seen him put defenders on skates. Like he did
Yeah,
really good, but just seemed like it could be hit and miss at times. And I like the player. I just don't love the player, and I see a lot of people have him like in their top five, and I just don't.
no,
I,
nope.
I I can't put him that high. Pick 70. We'll do just a couple more here. We'll get in maybe just a little bit of the third round, but not too much
No
more.
Jackson Dart yet, or did Jackson? Did I?
No, I did not see Jackson Dart yet, so I
Oh
don't know if
my! I didn't know if maybe we talked about him and I
he's come.
zoned out.
He's coming up. He's coming up.
That's
Pick
crazy.
70. The Jacksonville Jaguars take Mason Taylor. Eh,
Yeah, I think we both had the same motion there. Huh?
yeah, all right.
Yeah,
We won't really talk much on that. There is some steam that he could be in the first round. I don't see it personally. I
no.
think he's just a guy. Like he's probably an above average guy, but not great. Uh Pick 71. here goes Jackson Dart. Miami Dolphins trade and they
Oh,
get
trade.
Jackson Dart at pick 71. I it's Jackson Dart in the first round though, because like so he was originally invited to the draft and then didn't go, is what I'm hearing. So like is there steam that like, hey, you're not going in the first round? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. I mean, I don't see him slipping this far. What the heck are the Dolphins doing drafting him other than I guess
Yeah.
a backup for Tua? I
Maybe I
guess.
should have looked at this chart before we did it, but like, hey, it still gives us landing spots to talk about. I
Oh, for sure.
disagree with that one too.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, every draft thing we're gonna have is we're gonna have some
Right.
disagreements.
And,
And
and
hey,
we're
and
not going to
hey,
be right.
look, yeah, yeah. I mean, like I said, hey, we would have been doing this last year, and somebody would have said Michael Penix at number whatever to the
Yeah.
Falcons. We would have done the same thing. So
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, I 100% agree. Pick 73, the Las Vegas Raiders take Quinshawn Judkins. So
okay,
finally, Judkins off the board. I think it's a great fit. I mean, Pete Carroll
Yeah,
loves to
yeah,
run the ball. He's kind of like a mini beast mode. I mean, I hate to
yeah.
compare him to a Marshawn Lynch, but he's a hard nosed runner.
Oh, he
Uh,
definitely is.
kind of fits Carroll's style. So I think I'd be a great fit for Judkins. I do think he goes higher as well.
I do too. That's what I was just actually getting ready to say. I think this is a great value if Pete Carroll would get him here.
Hmm.
I mean, obviously he's no Ashton Genty. I'm not going to sit here and say that, but like instead of drafting Genty at 6, if you can get Junkins at what was it, 73,
Yeah,
72?
73.
Yeah, I mean that's great value. I think.
Yeah, I do too. Pick 74, Carolina Panthers take wide receiver Xavier Restrepo. So Restrepo running that was like 4.8 or something. You watch the film,
Yeah,
he's fast.
yeah,
He's not a blazer. He's not a
right.
blazer. He's a good route runner, possession type guy. I actually even said he reminds me kind of like a Tyler Lockett. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think he's somebody that is a good chains mover guy, can run some routes, but definitely slower than Tyler Lockett, kinda like a slower Tyler, so,
Yeah, I
yeah,
think I think when we talked about him, I think you hit the nail on the head when you were like, look, like you watch the film, he's not 4'8", you
mm,
know.
no.
Like and then like you said he had the hamstring or whatever tightness. And so I mean I hope people see that and kind of maybe devalue him a little bit, but
Yeah, yeah, I think I'd be more interested in Restrepo, like, 3rd round,
yeah.
early drafts, like, I see some upside, don't love him, don't hate him, but, like, he does some things really well.
Yeah.
Pick 77, New England Patriots take running back Dylan Sampson. Dylan Sampson's somebody that I really like. I really like the tape. I think my main question is he a 3 down back? I think he could be. I definitely think
Yeah.
he could be very shifty.
Yeah, I mean this Purdy I don't know how much it's going to hurt Stevenson. I mean we know his fumbling issues and everything like that. So is this kind of the writing on the wall for him?
I think good chance that it is. I think if it's 2nd round, 3rd round, even 4th round, New England is gonna bring somebody else.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, if
I
you have
think
Stevenson right now, I think you got to be shitting your pants a little bit.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. What would you sell Stevenson for? Like, I think I'm willing to take like obviously any second if you can
That's
get
what I
it.
was. Yeah,
I think I'd take a higher end third as well and just gamble on another guy.
yeah, yep, I agree. Or even try to go player for player and get a lower guy that hasn't really panned out yet. I'm trying to think of
Right,
somebody off the top of my head, but
right. So what I want to talk about real quick before we finish this up too is fast draft. Everybody listening, if you sign up, use the promo code POWER. They will match you up to $50 if you're a first time depositor. You can make drafts in under 5 minutes. It's an awesome app. Love to use it. It's The Origins draft, man, they filled up the first one, already put out a second one. So if you want to find value on these rookies, make sure you hop in there. Again, use that promo code POWER. They will match you up to $50 if you are a first time depositor. So, Muscles, going to the next guy here real quick. Pick 79, Kyle Williams. So Kyle Williams kind of got a little buzz after the Senior Bowl, going to the Minnesota Vikings. So doesn't really make a lot of sense. They
No,
have
it doesn't.
they have Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, but like again, you do some of these, there's gonna be guys that land in bad spots. You're like, why
Oh
the hell
yeah.
did you do that?
I mean, hey, I mean, we do it in rookie drafts sometimes too. It's like, we just take best available, and
Yep.
yeah, so maybe there's something they see in the guy, and
Maybe Addison's on the out. And ain't Jefferson ain't on the out. Maybe Addison's on
yeah,
the out.
maybe
So
Addison's on the out. So
going to pick 83, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh Steelers brought in 9 running backs for visits. They take one here, and it's RJ Harvey at pick 83. RJ Harvey's somebody that's kind of had a lot of buzz, a little bit older of a prospect, put up mega production. It is Dynasty Dog Mike's guy. Uh, RJ Harvey for me he's okay. I feel like okay.
yeah,
I think this is a little bit high for him personally, but I think this would mark a little bit better news for Jalen Warren. I think Jalen Warren's in a lot of danger, but like RJ Harvey and him, I think would do a lot of splits.
yeah, yeah, I agree. Yeah, I thought he'd be like a fourth-ish round guy, third-ish maybe, but yeah,
Yeah,
I don't mind it as a
just third.
Steeler
Yeah,
fan.
that I think that's very possible. I think that's very possible. We'll just go to 100. We're on pick 94 here. The Cleveland Browns take Damian Martinez. So finally take that running back. I am a big fan of Damian Martinez. I think he's a great player. He's not a sexy player, but fits a
Very
Cleveland mold
gritty.
pretty
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
So I would really like Damian Martinez here with Cleveland. Now the line isn't great, so got to beef up the line a little bit. And are they playing in deficit games? But Martinez, solid player, man.
I'd like it.
People would go nuts over this. Pick 95. This guy is my running back 5. Kansas City Chiefs take Cam Scatterboo, Muss.
Ooh, there we
I
go.
love Cam Scatterboo. I think he's one of the best pass catching backs in the class.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a little bit slower, but he still made that outside edge. He fights for every yard. Tough player. Just does everything very, very well. I think this would be a great spot. I probably a first round pick.
that's what I was just gonna ask. Do you think he's a first-round super flex pick if he
Yeah,
goes to the Kansas City Chiefs here?
I think he is. I think he's
Yeah,
probably in the back end of the first round super flex drafts.
I think this is like the Trey Sermon whole thing all over
Yep.
again.
Well, oh geez, don't say that.
No, I mean I'm not saying the outcome. I'm saying the hype, like how
Right,
everybody like at 112 was Trey Sermon. I think the Cam Scatterboos is gonna be. Hopefully, it's a better outcome
right. Do you
down
do
the
you think
road. But
do you think there's a possibility though that like say Judkins lands in a shitty spot and maybe somebody takes Scatterboo over him? Like
yeah,
I
I
think
can see it.
that's where it gets interesting. Or like, say Emeka Buka does go to a bad spot, or Luther Burden does go to the Saints. Like, I think then it gets very interesting. I think you could see Cam Scatterboo go as high as like
Yeah,
8, 9.
we see it year after year. It's landing spot, and it does play a huge part. But like at the end of the day, you gotta find that happy medium between
Yeah,
pre draft rankings and after draft rankings. Like it is hard. It
it
is hard.
it is hard. It definitely is because like everybody was drafting Trey Sermon in the first. We were getting Elijah Mitchell at 212, and that's what was paying off. Like
Right.
I think, and you're going to see this in drafts. I think you're going to see some teams take 2 backs. I mean, you could possibly see somebody take RJ Harvey and then Jordan James.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like take 2 of them and just whoever plays better. Then you kind of get back the tape and see who you like.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I
I
think,
always I always go back to the AJ Brown, and I think it was McKeel Hardman. Hardman went to the Chiefs, obviously.
yeah,
I think it was the Hardman draft, but
It
Yeah,
was.
Hardman. And then in rookie drafts, I was taking Hardman over AJ Brown, even though obviously we all liked AJ Brown more than Hardman.
A lot of
And
people
then
were.
yeah, and then Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I mean,
Yeah.
how many Clyde Edwards-Helaire shares did you have over Jonathan Taylor?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, so I
Yeah.
mean,
We
we have
really
to.
like J.K. Dobbins in that draft too. It just
Yeah,
unfortunately happened to him in his career, but
right. Yeah, we have to find some kind of metric to where it's like we need to even this out so we're not,
yeah. Yeah. Absolutely, man. And the last pick we're going to talk about here, pick 97, the Minnesota Vikings take running back DJ Giddens. DJ Giddens getting a ton of steam.
yeah,
I'm not on the DJ Giddens hype train, Muscle.
no,
I am not. I think he's amazingly fast. I think he runs kind of high. Just a lot I didn't like. Didn't think he broke a ton of tackles. Like, just I'm not on DJ Giddens. I don't think he's a horrible player. Hey, I see the upside, but
yeah,
kind of in that tier of like Trey Harris. It's just gonna go higher than what I'm willing to draft him at. I mean,
yeah. I think if he goes to Minnesota, I think I'm a little higher on him. I mean, obviously, Kevin O'Connell
yeah,
system and everything like that. I think he'll have a good kind of rollish for him.
it just might take a little bit because Aaron Jones got extended right for another
Yeah,
year. So Aaron Jones
yeah,
there for 2 years, and they did trade for Jordan Mason. So
yeah.
I mean,
So
he can definitely fight with Jordan Mason. He could take that role. I feel like Jordan Mason's a good player, but
yeah, yeah, for sure.
so before we get out of here, Muscles, I want to ask you real quick, what's one of your bold predictions of the draft? And it can be anything. It don't have to be fantasy relevant. It could be a player
Ooh,
going. It can be, hey, I think it's going to be 4 quarterbacks, or there's only going to be one quarterback taken the first round. Whatever you think, let's hear it.
I do think all four quarterbacks here in the first round.
Okay.
I think Dart, Milrow, Ward, and Shador. I think they do. I don't know how spicy that is or how bold, but
I think it's probably pretty spicy.
yeah, yeah, it seems like it as of late. So
Yeah, I think that teams, there's obviously an influx of teams that need some quarterbacks, and Jalen Milrow getting invited. I mean, that's kind of a sign. You're hearing an AFC scout. Is it a Steeler scout saying, he's the best running quarterback I've ever scouted? Uh,
yeah, and I do think that I do think Henderson. I think he goes in the first.
yeah, I do. I
I
agree
think
with
he
that.
goes hopefully to the Chiefs. I mean, he could go somewhere else, but my pick is the Chiefs.
I think mine's gonna be, and I don't know how spicy it is that the Chicago Bears trade up and they take
Get
Ashton
Jensen.
Genty
Yeah, I would like that, and I think your bold take of Besh being
back
the
end
first
first.
round. Yeah, I could see him being the Ricky Pearsall of this year.
Yeah, I feel like it's a possibility, but at the same time, I look and it's like, who's back there? I mean, then you're starting to get into the late 20s. It's like, but
Yeah,
yeah, I definitely could see it happening. So I appreciate everybody tuning in, Muscles. Thank you so much for coming on. I know that you podcast so much now, like
yeah,
you go on the Rattle Cage show. If anybody, is into NASCAR, go check out Muscles and Sterling. They put on awesome shows. I mean, such good information. And hey, I mean, I'm kind of your fair weather NASCAR fan, and I really enjoy listening. And you guys have won me some money, so I appreciate
yeah,
it.
yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you next time on the Fantasy Football Power Hour.
See ya.